In this video, we will be calibrating the EC and pH sensors on the iDoser Environmental Nutrient Controller. From the home screen, hit Enter Menu, and then you want to go to iDoser Programming, EC pH Settings, and then you want to do Calibrate Sensors. Hit Enter Menu. Now on the calibration screen, the first field we come to is the sensor we want to calibrate. Hit plus or minus allows us to navigate through the different sensors. And we want to go ahead and leave EC highlighted because that's the first sensor we're going to work with. Hit Next. Now this numerical value here is the tank assigned to this sensor. And we're going to go ahead and choose tank 1 for this demonstration. Hit Next. Now this number represents the transmitter board assigned to tank 1. And we can have up to 3. And we're going to use the first transmitter board. Hit Next. Now the first sensor we're going to calibrate is the EC probe. With the EC probe, we will do a 1-point calibration with Calibration Solution using the Reference 1 screen. Now on your conductivity solution bag, it will specify in microsiemens per centimeter value you need to set your reference to. So what we will do is change this value currently in there to the value 1413. Next, we will open the pouch of the conductivity solution and we will go ahead and put our EC sensor into the solution. We will stir and wait for a raw value to settle. Once settled, we will go ahead and hit Next to highlight Calibrate. Once you have Calibrate highlighted, simply hit plus to calibrate this sensor. And once the sensor says calibrated, the EC probe has in fact been calibrated. So go ahead and hit Next. And scrolling through the Reference 2 screen, which is utilized for a 2-point calibration application, just keep on going till you get back to Reference 1. And then we want to go ahead and hit plus so that we can do our pH calibration. Now the pH probe has 4 pH solution with it right out of the box. And with this probe, we want to do a 2-point calibration. First, we want to use the Reference 1 screen with 4 pH solution. And then after that, second, we want to use the Reference 2 screen with 10 pH solution. Now, in the reference field, we want to change this to be 4. Note, we will still use tank 1, board 1, and we'll change this value here to be 4. Once the value is at 4, just simply hit Next because we know that the sensor has been saturated in the 4 pH calibration solution from the get-go. And just hit plus here to calibrate the sensor. And once it says calibrated, just simply hit Next till we get to the Reference 2 screen. Now here on the Reference 2 screen, we want to utilize 10 pH solution pouch for this second stage calibration. At this field here, we want to make this 10 pH. Next, we will open the pouch of our 10 pH solution. We will insert our pH sensor into the solution, stir, and wait for a raw value to settle. Once this value has settled, we want to go back to the controller and simply hit Next to highlight Calibrate, and then hit plus till the controller displays calibrated. And hit Next till you get to the Reference 1 screen. And then hit plus. And finally we have temp. The EC probe has a temp sensor built right into it. And if calibration for the temp is necessary, we would do it in this field. by simply going to the adjust line and hit plus and minus to make the raw value increase and decrease, which will display the adjust value at the home screen. So we're going to leave it at 0, hit back to save your changes. And finally, temperature compensation for the temp sensor in the EC probe. Now to do this, we're going to hit Enter Menu, iDoser Programming, ECPH Settings, and we'll go ahead and highlight Temp Compensation, hit Enter Menu. Now with Temp Compensation, it gives you the option to change between tanks as well as change between transmitter boards. And for this example, we will be using tank 1, transmitter board 1. Hit next. Now the mode, we want to change it from manual to auto simply by hitting plus. Now the 77° Fahrenheit is no compensation whatsoever, and we recommend that you switch this mode to auto, and it will take and use the temp probe that is built into the EC probe. Now once you have done that, just simply hit back to get to the home screen. Hit next a couple of times, and it displays our EC value, pH value, and our temp value. And that's our video in setting up and calibrating EC pH sensor on the iDoser Environmental Nutrient Controller.